皆さん、こんにちは、HigeSanです。今回は、Miyaviの英語のインタビュー、英語レビューします。And I'm very curious because I've never heard Miyavi speak in English before, so I have no idea what to expect. This is my first time hearing his English. So with that being said, 行きましょう。Let's go! チャンネル登録してね。
Miyavi, this is your first movie.
Movie?
A little bit about the process of getting the role and what excited
Role?
you about it.
Wait. Before we get into his English, he's a movie star? That's something I haven't heard from before. Wait, what? かっこいい。
So, first of all, it happened out of the blue. And there's a Japanese casting director, Yoko, who cast Ken Watanabe to Last Samurai. Who's the bridge between Hollywood and Japanese movie industry. And she came over to my office in Tokyo all of a sudden. And then she kept asking me what kind of music I do as a musician, and what kind of film I like, and who's my favorite actor. And I answered Angelina Jolie. But she didn't tell me about this film or who's going to be the director of this film. She just left. And a couple weeks later, I met Angie in Tokyo, and we talked about this film. But before I met her...
Okay, I'm trying to find a place where he's gonna pause, but とても上手英語. His English is superb. His pronunciation is fantastic. His grammar is fantastic. His sentence structure is fantastic. His phrases are fantastic as well. He's using phrases like out of the blue, which is a phrase that I don't even use in my everyday language, but it's something you could say in a normal setting as well. But his response is very confident, and I like how clear he is as well. There's no accent in his voice. I hear a little bit of I can't tell if it's Australian or British accent. It's kind of a mix. He probably learned English from multiple countries, like different accents. So it's kind of like a mix, but still very clear and just とても素晴らしい。本当に素晴らしい英語。But still, I'm surprised he's an actor. But man, he looks very cool. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was an actor. とてもかっこいい。
I wasn't sure that if I was capable, because no experience as an actor, such a big role and controversial story, and it's all in English. Because, I'm still having a hard time, when I talk in English. So I was initially hesitant.
I think your English is very good, my friend.
But when I met Angie in Tokyo, she said she wanted to create something meaningful, and in which could be a bridge between Japan and America, even countries which have been having similar issues in conflict. And this story could be happened anywhere, and it might be happening somewhere. So it's not about the war, it's all about message of Louis Zamperini, forgiveness, unbroken spirit, and how strong a human being can be. So I thought to deliver this message to the audience is really meaningful, to be a part of this creation, even, such a villain in the story. I thought this is really meaningful. That's why I was able to make a decision to tackle this role.
Everything that he's saying is very positive. And now that I've gotten the chance to listen to a little bit more of his English, and it's actually a very difficult thing to learn when learning English, and that's the use of the and when to use the. And I can understand everything that he's saying. And I'm sure the interview person is also able to understand all of his answers. I'm still shocked that he's an actor. It's very cool. A very cool guitarist and a very cool actor. What a nice combination.
The story of a true person, Watanabe the bird.
Yeah.
But you make him complex, not one-dimensional. That was important to you?
Yes, a lot. And it's so responsible. Because I've never met
question.
Mr. Watanabe, because he passed away. And we got an article that he was writing about the days he was hiding in a mountain for 7 years, escaping from his criminal acts. And then he was saying how much he wanted to see his mother. So from the article, we were able to find his weakness, and he was also struggling and scared. That's this completely different, dimension from what we heard or learned from the book. So Angie and I talked about this character, and we didn't want to portray him as a typical villain or who's one-dimensional, keeps yelling, kicking, intimidating. More vulnerable and sensitive person. So that was my mission, most important mission on this project.
とても素晴らしい。
How would you compare performing, if they're comparable at all, music live with performing as an actor in a movie?
It was like,
Ooh. とてもいい質問。
I was able to find a similarity between acting and performing on stage, because I had no technique or skill as an actor, but thanks to the fact I was able to focus on not to act, and I learned how important to put emotion and passion into the performance. It don't have to be, you don't have to have technique. It's all about passion and emotion and what you want to deliver to the audience. So, yeah, to get to the character, I was like, trying to imagine, what if these guys kill my family? I would do anything to protect them. That's insane and intense, but that's the extreme condition and situation everybody was in the war. So the war is difficult for everyone, and for me, that was
really
fantastic precious
responses from him
to learn many things from this experience as an artist. So, yeah.
Man, Miyavi, his English is superb. Very, very top. Like, his just, wow. I'm shocked. This is the first time I've ever heard his English before, and he just nailed it. The response is very clear, very detailed, and I really like how when he was talking about his role, he was putting emotion into that as well, like as if he was acting in this moment. And it's something that I really love about this interview is that he's showing a very kind of personal side in this interview, and that really reflects well on his confidence as well. His English already has a lot of confidence, but I just really like how he's portraying himself in this interview. But in terms of his English, I think he nailed everything. His vocabulary was superb. His grammar, even though there were very small errors, like I mentioned, the use of the, and I'm actually very glad that I saw an interview where he was talking about his acting, because he did talk a little bit about his music stuff. But please let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any other recommendations or requests of any other English reviews, please let me know. And with that being said, Miyaviの英語とっても素晴らしいと思う。皆さん見てくれてありがとうございます。それではまたね。